Have you ever wondered if therapists, the ones trained to understand the human mind, ever feel fear? Well, what happens when the one sitting across from them isn't just mentally unstable, but dangerous? Today, we dive into chilling true accounts shared by psychologists on Reddit, stories where therapy turned into terror, and professionals feared for their lives. These are real moments when the person in the chair wasn't just a patient, but a potential threat. Sit back, turn down the lights, and get ready. The gang leader who looked into my soul. When you become a psychologist, especially in the forensic field, people assume you're calm, neutral, impenetrable, that you've seen it all, and for a while, I believed that too. But there was one man, one session, that forced me to reevaluate everything. It wasn't just what he did. It wasn't even what he said. It was how he said it. How he looked at me, like he already knew what I feared most. That day, I learned the difference between understanding danger and being face to face with it. It was a Thursday morning, overcast. I remember because I always preferred cloudy days in the prison. They kept the sun from blasting through the thick glass panels of the visitation room, the room where we conducted most of our psychological evaluations. He came in with 2 guards. That wasn't unusual. What was unusual was how casual he looked, like he was arriving for brunch with an old friend. Clean-cut, calm, even a little amused. Name, Luis Varela. Age, 34. Convicted of multiple violent offenses, including aggravated assault and conspiracy to commit murder. Alleged high-ranking member of a known criminal organization. This was supposed to be a routine parole evaluation, but from the moment he sat down, I knew this was anything but routine. He didn't blink much. That's something you notice in corrections, eye movement. Nervous inmates blink too often, angry ones too little. But he just stared, unblinking, not cold, but calculating, the kind of look that measured your soul like a tailor measures fabric. "Good morning," I said, professionally but friendly. "Morning," he replied, smile small, voice low. "You must be the doc." I nodded. We started the session. I asked standard questions. How did he feel about his conviction? Did he believe he was ready to re-enter society? How had he spent his time inside? His answers were smooth. Too smooth. "I've done my time. I know the system. I followed the rules. I didn't stab anyone. Isn't that what you want?" He smirked, not arrogantly, almost playfully, like he was baiting me. But I played it straight. Took notes, asked about his upbringing, gang affiliation, regrets, still waters, and then I asked, if you were released today, what would be your biggest challenge outside? He leaned forward slightly. His hands were folded, elbows on the table. "Staying out of trouble," he said. "But that depends on who comes looking." I asked, "Yeah, the street doesn't forget, Doc, even if I do." That was the first moment I felt it, that drop in your gut, like something isn't right, even though the room is quiet. Around minute 30 of the session, things changed, subtly. He began asking me questions. "You live around here? Do you drive or take the train? You got kids?" I deflected. "We're trained to. Boundaries are essential in prison psychology." But he was testing them, no, pushing them, gently, casually, like a fisherman tugging the line. "You're a smart man, Doc," he said. "I can tell." I nodded. "But smart. Men forget something important sometimes." "And what's that?" I asked, trying to stay composed. "That rules only apply to people who choose to follow them." He sat back. That sentence, it wasn't a threat, but it was, wrapped in silk, said with a smile. As we wrapped up, I began the standard closing. "Thank you for your time today. I'll be submitting my report to the board." That's when he said something I'll never forget. "Be careful on your way home, Doc." My pen froze mid-signature. It's a rough world out there. People get followed. Accidents happen. Wrong turns. I looked up. His expression was still mild, still polite, but his eyes were dead serious. "I'm sure you got a family. People who count on you." Pause. "Just don't let this job make you forget that." I filed the report. Marked him as a high-risk candidate. Lack of remorse. Ongoing manipulative behavior. Posed potential danger to staff and public. But it didn't end there. The following week, I got a call. My wife said someone had been outside the house in a black car, just parked, windows tinted. Engine running, didn't get out, didn't drive, off, just as sat there, watching. The next day, the same thing. I never proved it was connected, never had evidence, but the timing was precise, and the fear it planted, that chill, was enough. I bought a home security system the next day. I even changed my route to work for a while. He never said I'll hurt you. He didn't have to. People think the scariest part of dealing with violent inmates is the violence itself. But no, it's the control. The way someone like that can twist a sentence, the way they see you, size you up, and calculate how far they can go. Luis didn't need to attack me. He needed me to know he could. And that was enough to haunt me for months. I've interviewed murderers, rapists, even serial offenders. But only once have I walked away from a session wondering if I'd made it out safe. It was with him. He brought a gun to therapy. Some sessions stay with you. Some patients leave a mark. But others, they change how you lock your doors, how you answer unknown numbers, how you sleep. This is one of those stories. I was working as a psychiatric nurse practitioner in a quiet, outpatient clinic. We saw a range of patients: anxiety, trauma, depression, the occasional schizophrenia case. Never anything violent, until the day he came in. He wasn't new. He'd been coming for months. Early 20s, a history of severe depression, paranoia, and past drug abuse. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus was quiet, always polite, always alone. He wore oversized hoodies, spoke in short sentences, and never made direct eye contact. But his eyes, they looked tired, not just physically, like the world had been a battlefield. And he'd been losing since birth. We'd been making slow progress, medication adjustments, gentle therapy, getting him to trust again. But on that day, it was raining. I remember. He came in with a backpack. He sat down like normal. Then, without a word, he unzipped the bag and took out a handgun. He placed it on the table between us, not pointing, not waving it, just resting there, calm, casual, like it was a sandwich or a book. "Don't worry," he said. "I'm not gonna hurt you. I just need it with me." My pulse jumped, but I kept my voice level. "Marcus, can you tell me why you brought that in today?" He looked at me, finally locking eyes for the first time in months. "I'm scared," he whispered. "They're coming." The room felt 10 degrees colder. I glanced discreetly at the panic button. Under my desk. "Who's coming?" "Marcus." He looked to the ceiling, then the corner. "As if someone were listening. They know I told you stuff. They're watching. I had to bring this, just in case." He tapped the gun lightly. I asked if he would let me hold it. "Just for safety." He shook his head. "It's not for you. I told you. I like you. You're one of the good ones, but they'll come for both of us." That's when he said the name of someone on staff, a nurse, then another, then me. "You think they're normal people, but they're not. They're part of it." I realized then. He wasn't just scared. He was unraveling. For the next 25 minutes, I spoke slowly, carefully. I asked him to tell me more about the they. I validated his feelings. I asked if he remembered his safety plan. He did, sort of. Then he cried. Big, silent tears. The gun still on the table. My hands never moved. Eventually, I asked, "Would it be okay if we let someone hold the gun for now, just so you can relax?" He looked at it for a long time. "If I give it to them, they'll use it on me." My heart sank. "What if I hold it?" I asked. "Just while we talk. No one else." Silence. Then slowly, he pushed it across the table. I took it, set it gently behind me, didn't break eye contact, and then he collapsed, not physically, emotionally. Like a dam breaking, he sobbed. I alerted the response. The session ended with calm voices, soft reassurances. He was admitted to an inpatient facility. That afternoon, the weapon was unregistered. Police got involved, but no charges were filed. He needed help, not prison, and I needed a stiff drink and about 12 hours of sleep. But I didn't sleep that night, because when I closed my eyes, all I saw was the moment he unzipped that bag. That moment when my entire world hinged on how I responded in the next 5 seconds. He wasn't evil. He wasn't a monster. He was sick, paranoid, afraid, but that didn't make it any less terrifying. Because mental illness and violence aren't the same, but when they overlap, it's like standing on ice, not knowing where the cracks are, it taught me something, even. The quietest person in the room can carry the loudest fear, and even when they say, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you," you listen to how they say it, because sometimes it's not a promise, it's a warning. The 2 a.m. caller who knew too much. Some calls change your life. Others change how you see the people around you. But then there are calls that reach inside your head and stay there. This is the story of one of those calls. It didn't happen to me. It happened to my brother. He's a clinical psychologist, works primarily with trauma cases. He doesn't scare easily. But this patient got under his skin in a way I'd never seen before. And it all started with a phone call at exactly 2 a.m. It was a Wednesday night. My brother had just fallen asleep when his phone rang. Unknown number. He ignored it. It rang again and again. Eventually, he picked up, groggy, irritated. "Hello." There was silence for a moment, then a voice. Shaky, male. "I'm scared. I think they're watching me again." My brother sat up. He recognized the voice, a former patient. Let's call him Caleb. Caleb had struggled with severe paranoia, PTSD, and delusions. He had been discharged months earlier. The treatment had gone okay, but he wasn't stable. My brother calmly asked Caleb where he was. Caleb didn't answer. "You know they can hear us, right? They're probably listening now. But you're the only one I trust." And then he hung up. The next night, 2 a.m. again. The same number. This time, Caleb was crying. "There's something in the mirror. I swear to God, I saw it move." My brother tried to get more information. Caleb wouldn't say where he was, wouldn't answer direct questions. He just kept repeating, "They're coming for me. They want me to disappear." And then, click. Another hang up. This happened 5 nights in a row. Always 2 a.m., always vague, always disturbing. But then, something changed. The 6th night, Caleb didn't cry, he laughed. "You thought I was crazy, didn't you? But I see things more clearly than you ever will." He started describing things. My brother's house, the color of his curtains, his car. "I saw your wife leave this morning. She always forgets to lock the side gate." Chills. My brother reported it to the police, but they couldn't do anything. No active threat, no confirmed location. Caleb wasn't under treatment anymore. There were no grounds for a hold, but the fear was real. And then the photos started arriving. One morning, my brother found an envelope on his windshield. No return address. Inside, a single photo. It was a picture of his backyard. At night, the next day, another envelope. This time, the photo showed his bedroom window, curtains drawn. The third one, a close-up of the digital clock on his nightstand. 2 a.m., that's when he stopped sleeping. He installed cameras, security lights, moved his family to a hotel for a few days, and still, the calls came. My brother finally answered one night, full of rage. "Caleb, if you ever come near my family again." But Caleb cut him off. "It's not me." "Then who is it?" "You'll see." Click. That was the last call. No more envelopes. No more photos. Just silence. And the silence was worse, because every night at 2 a.m., my brother still wakes up, instinctively, watches the clock, and waits. They never found Caleb. It's like he disappeared off the grid. No bank activity. No phone records. Nothing. Was he even the one calling? Were the delusions real? Or was this a long, elaborate revenge against the only person who ever tried to help him? We don't know, but I do know this. My brother changed. He's not the same man he was before the calls. He checks windows. He avoids late sessions. He flinches at blocked numbers, because once you hear someone whisper your fears back to you from the dark, you never feel truly safe again. So if your phone ever rings at 2 a.m. and there's no one there, just remember, someone might be watching.